Hello, hello, Pisces. What's going on? It seems like you guys' birthday month came around so fast. Happy birthday to all of the Pisces out there. This is Madam X with Frequency Real Radio. We're gonna do your love and romance and relationship reading for this month. So let's get it on. Pisces, there's so much going on this month. Let me just go back. Let's take a look, Pisces, because there is a lot going on this month, especially in your sign. So 1 second, I just want to make sure. Yeah, we're still recording. I just want to pull up the chart for the 16th and just take a look at what's going on. So Pisces, let's just start out with a little bit of astrology because as you know, we had the lunar eclipse. What was it, guys? Like on the 12th or something of the month, the 10th or something like that. And then now we're going to have the solar eclipse on the 26th of February. So Pisces, that's in your sign. So, of course, that means a big deal for the Pisces out there and all the signs who that's going to kind of touch an aspect. But, of course, the Pisces, because it's happening in your sign. And we have the sun in Pisces at 8 degrees on the 26th. We're going to have the moon in Pisces at 9 degrees. Neptune in Pisces at 11 degrees. Neptune rules Pisces. And Chiron in Pisces at 23 degrees. So, just a lot of things that are going to bring about feeling. And then we still have Aries. In Aries, Venus, Mars, and Uranus are in Aries. So guys, just a lot of, I'm trying to get my aspects back. So just a lot of things going on this month where there's going to be a lot of feeling involved. There's going to be a lot of radical changes when it comes to how you feel, the actions that you want to take, and just really separating the logic from the feelings and the bringing some groundedness and some reality to whatever dreaminess, whatever fantasies and stuff like that. And also really being true to who you are, admitting to who you are, coming out and standing firm in who you are when we have that solar eclipse. It is the solar eclipse. It is the sun. And with it in Pisces, and with it in that, Pisces rules the 12th house. So a lot of times the 12th house are hidden things and things like that. But with that being a solar eclipse, there could be a lot of things coming out, a lot of things that you want to face. And it doesn't necessarily mean they're bad things, but just things that need to be faced to get you to that next level in your ascension, to get you past some of the karmic things we've been going through, to move on to that next level with all the confidence and everything that you need, to move on, basically. So Mercury is making some good aspects. Mercury is going to be trining Jupiter. The sun's going to be opposing the south node. Mars is going to be squaring Mercury. So what that basically means, let me just see if I see anything else that we can really say. Mars is going to be opposing Jupiter. Let me see. I'm just looking for more aspects. Jupiter is going to be opposing Uranus. So what it is it's more so how you look at things and your mentality on things. If you stay positive and if you stay logical, some of the radical changes and some of the things that come out, they don't have to be taken with negativity, or you don't have to get into any violence. You don't have to get into any power plays or power matches. If you realize that this too shall pass, and if you use your logical mind, you can get around what's going on, because Mars is also going to trine Saturn, which is a good thing, which means that, I take that as a good thing, because it means that maybe you're putting more energy into learning some lessons, into sticking to that, the mental thought processes of things, taking a higher road when it comes to your reactions to whatever situations could be on the table. So it's going to have a lot to do with communication, action, the self, and the feelings that we have between our reality and what is perceived as our fantasy, or what's perceived as our inner world. All those things kind of come into the forefront, and then us having to deal with those things. So whether you get information from outside sources, whether something's just really getting on your nerves and you're saying, wow, I've had enough of this. And this is not just for Pisces, this is for everybody. This is just where the elements are going to be with this solar eclipse in Pisces, So, and I'm shuffling the cards in the back. I'm about to lay the cards so we can get into the reading. But with all of those things kind of coming out, and you're saying, I'm ready to move on to something else. I'm ready to take that next level. I'm ready to think about things positively. I'm not going to keep having this negative overtone, and I'm going to be myself. I'm going to let things happen how they should happen. And I'm not going to go through the same bullshit and the same negative way of dealing with things as I have in the past. So you'll realize the things that are happening are karmic. It is, but it's time to clear it up. It's time to clean it up. So that's what a lot of us are going to be dealing with as these eclipses happen. So just expect a lot of communication, whether good or bad. And then you really having to stop and think about things from the past, and think about the way you want to handle things. Think about the way you want to be seen, and think about being your true self, bringing what's really inside of you out to the forefront. So getting back to our reading, Pisces, for this month, Pisces, I really see that you guys, like I just talked about in the eclipse, and I said before, now I just laid these cards after I started talking about the eclipse. I literally just laid them down. But what it really talks about Pisces in these cards, a lot of this is about you really having to let things go. You really having to get past things. You really having to realize, in order to move on to where you want to be, you got to take all those burdens, all the past karma, all the past hurt, and you really have to move in a new direction. You have to deal with it in whatever ways you're going to deal with it to move on to that new direction. So Pisces, it is definitely the ending of the cycle. You got the Ten of Wands, the Death card, the Fool, the Lovers, and Justice. And then from the romance cards, you got Passion, Honeymoon, and Attraction. So for a lot of Pisces out there, you guys may be thinking about popping a question this month, getting married, making a higher commitment to your significant other, putting the foolishness behind, and really taking that step, taking that next move with your partner. I think a lot of you guys are thinking about that. Just really building a family with the Pisces. Pisces guys could be having kids. There could be pregnancies. Pisces, I know a few Pisces where that's going on. So you could be really thinking of building the families, getting married, tying up old situations so that you can move into new situations. And if it is an actual marriage, a new journey of marriage, you want to make more of a commitment. And in a lot of these relationships, you'll find that passion again, and it feels like you're sort of in that honeymoon phase. So a lot of Pisces within their first few years of a relationship, first year of a relationship, first 2 years or so of a relationship, and is really in that honeymoon phase. But at the same time, Pisces, you might have some situations that you're still not completely done with from the past. But with that Ten of Wands and the Death card, what it's saying is the chapter is over. The chapter is over. There's no need to keep carrying those burdens. There's no need to keep holding all of those issues, holding all of that stress, and carrying those monkeys on your back. And I see with the Death card in reverse after that Ten of Wands, you don't really want to let something go. You don't really want to let a certain person go. You don't want to let certain thoughts and idea patterns go. And the things that you don't want to let go were negative things for you. They're negative things for you. They aren't positive experiences, and they aren't positive things. And if you want to move on to this new chapter in your life, new loving relationship, then you are going to have to let some of those things go. So there's a lot of air sign energy in this reading, Pisces. You guys may have been dealing with a Libra. You may have been dealing with Gemini. Of course, we have Gemini, the Lovers card. The Justice card is the Libra card. So you may have been dealing with those kind of energies, either the energies that you need to tie up the past with, or the energies that you're moving towards. Either way, in order for you to have that brand new start, you're going to have to stop refusing to get past some of these issues and really just let them die. Let that old chapter close up. Like I said, with that solar eclipse in Pisces, Pisces being the last sign of the zodiac, we're moving into a whole new phase. It is your birthday month, and you really want to see yourself for who you are, be who you are, and be honest and truthful with yourself, Pisces, because I see nothing but really love surrounded in these cards. Yes, there's a little bit of difficulty, and I don't even feel like this reading needs to be that long, because it's really pretty much to the point, to be really honest. And it's just really saying, if you want your partnerships and you want love and you want that attraction, that relationship, and that passion in your relationships, you have got to deal with some of these old situations and the emotions that go into those old situations. So whether you have a relationship that isn't quite loose ends tied up with the ex-partner, whether you have some financial situations that are going on, whether you have some things with your own emotions and in your way that you feel, if you don't resolve those issues and close that cycle and face those things head on, willing to surrender and say, I know I have these issues. I know I have these situations. I'm not going to hide behind emotions. I'm not going to play the victim. I am going to account. That's what I just talked about when I talked about the solar eclipse and where the planets were in the positions. Accountability. It's about being responsible for your actions, being responsible for who you are, being responsible for the things you have done. And that's even going to show through the justice card. So with that justice card, that could also be a fair break in relationships as well. With that coming after the lover's card, that could be a fair break in relationships as well. And it's going to be judged by your actions. So just keep in mind, Pisces, if you move into other situations and you move into new situations, or you don't tie up loose ends from the past situations, there is going to be something. Now, this could actually be in a court of law. If you're going through the same way, this could be taking things to the next level. That's one way I see it for some of the Pisces, but it also could be an ending. And because you won't come to the table and work with the partner, someone else is going to come in and decide how things should end, who should get what's fair, what's equitable to both parties. Because like with the lover's card, there are two people on the card, but there's also a third party, almost like the judge and the juror. Both the man and woman stand on separate sides, and it's also like that entity in the middle is presiding over that male and that female to make some decision, as if they can't see eye to eye. You know what I mean? The lover is seeing eye to eye in one circumstance. Some of you are going to be taking partnerships to the next level, but some of you are being very, very foolish, not wanting to close a chapter, not wanting to be honest about who you are and who you have been in past situations and relationships. You like to gloss over. A lot of Pisces like to live in their own emotional world, and you want to gloss over what's going on in the real world and the responsibilities that you have in certain situations. You cannot just always be the intangible fish doing things and then swimming away from facing the facts of what you did. A lot of times, Pisces, you guys really have to own up to the part you play in certain situations to get the results that you've gotten. And if you don't really see that, if all you see is the burdens and the issues that you feel as though other people have put on you, but you don't see the part that you played in it, it's time for that to come to an end. But in order for those things to come to an end, you have to willingly accept that you want to be set free. You need to accept that there needs to be a death of the old ways, the old issues. And that's mostly a death within you of how you treat situations, how you act to situations, whether you ignore things or whether you confront them head on. And then that dealing with that behavior and being willing to let go of not seeing things from a perspective more than your perspective, or not seeing things fairly, or just being very emotional and acting from an emotional place when it comes to things that you feel like other people have put on you. Because at the end of the day, it's a 50-50 situation. The relationships we find ourselves in, the things that we find ourselves going through, in the situations that we find ourselves in, whether that's with romance partners, family, or whatever the case. But for overall, Now that part, the having to deal up and tie up loose ends and loose issues and deal with some of the problems and the burdens before you move on to something more passionate, something more beautiful, that's really for all Pisces. Now the way it's gonna play out, I feel like it's gonna happen in different groups of Pisces. Some of you are gonna make substantial relationships, you are gonna make commitments, you are gonna start on a new journey, which puts you in that attraction phase, that passion phase, and that honeymoon phase. Because from that, you are strengthening relationships. You are taking relationships to the next level, and you are making more positive bonds and commitments. But for other Pisces, it's going to be a refusal to see things a certain way. And even though you might move on in other areas of your life, there's going to be some form of justice. There's going to be some form of either between you and a Gemini person. You could be dealing with a Libra person. Even if this is not relationship, in some business capacity, maybe on the home front capacity, maybe you guys had property together or something is going on where there's going to have to be a mediator sort of person, a person outside of your situation that's going to make decisions. So if that's a relationship, guys, face what's going on so that you can be on the most amicable terms and have the best outcome with past relationships and past situations that you're trying to tie up. And if this is on any other front, whether it be the home front, whether it be bills, commitments, contracts, just make sure you follow through and that you deal with everything on an up and up. You look at everything, you review everything, you respond to everything so that you can, because I show that it's going to be, whatever happens, whether this is bills and situations and contracts, it's going to be fair. It's going to be just the decisions that get made. But there's going to be an outside party presiding over these things. And even if it's the relationship realm, it's going to be fair to both parties. So no, you're not all going to get your way, Pisces, and the other person is not all going to get their way either. There's going to have to be somebody that comes in and kind of says, well, this is what's fair for both parties, for both sides of the situation. So whether that has to do with divorce, separations, bills, contracts, negotiations, debts, things of that nature, that's pretty much how it's going to play out. But overall, Pisces, I have a really good feeling that there's a lot of love to be had, and there's a new path and a new journey to be set out on, especially with that solar eclipse. When you look at the Fool card, that is the beginning of the journey. The Fool is the one who sets out on the journey. He just has an open heart and open mind and no fear. He's going to walk forward with no fear. And that's a lot of what I talked about in the astrology part, is having no fear to let that sun shine, to be yourself. The sun does represent the self, and the sun is in Pisces, and there's going to be a solar eclipse on the 26th. So it's really showing who you are, shining from within, shining and being true to who you are, being honest to who you are, even realizing things about yourself that you did not realize before, so that you can set out on this new path and you can have success in your future relationships, business dealings, partnerships, friendships, family relationships, and everything like that. So guys, I hope that helped you Pisces out there. I hope that gave you some direction and some insight into what's coming for March. And I'll say this is for the end. I'm going to label it March, but this is from February. Today's the 20th. So this will take you on out to through the end of February until March. And I'll try to come back around the same time in March and do the April reading. So this just gives you an idea of what's happening from now, especially what's going to happen after the eclipse, what direction you're going in after the eclipse. You're going to see that certain communication, certain information is going to need to be dealt with, handled. And I feel like Pisces, these are a lot of things you already know. These are a lot of things that's already out there. You guys are really good with your gut, your instinct, your soul, really listening to your intuitiveness, being that water sign that you are. I feel like you guys are good at that. And you're going to see that the solar eclipse is going to open up a whole new pathway for you guys to be honest with yourself, honest with other people, and have those fulfilling, passionate relationships that you want to have. And if you're in a Pisces, again, I just want to say happy birthday. Have an awesome birthday to all of the Pisces out there. I'm a Pisces moon, so I look forward to the good aspects of this reading. You guys, there should be plenty love, plenty passion, and someone new may be coming into your life. If it's not new, I feel like there's a lot of Pisces who've been in a relationship for a year or two. You want to take things to the next level. I want to say congratulations and happy endeavors in all of those Pisces who are moving to the next level with their significant others. Again, much love to you, Pisces. Happy birthday. Thanks for tuning in to Frequency Real Radio. This is Madam X. Deuces.